Dan Larson here, and I'm at the photo booth with this thing. This Anakin's Jedi Starfighter diecast Oh, it's diecast. That's cool. Anyway, this model kit was in a box of random Star Wars stuff that I picked up at the flea market, and it's the kind of thing that I just have no interest in whatsoever. It's from the prequels, this packaging with the lava and stuff. It just makes me wince. It's like, it's a model building thing or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, it looks like all the tools you need are in the package, so... it's like, you know, I mean, prequels aside, I do like that ship design. I mean, if you could just take it out of Star Wars in the heavy-handed way that it was supposed to look, kind of like the Millennium Falcon and Darth Vader's TIE Fighter had a baby, it's a cool ship. I even have a tiny one that sits on my shelf, and then I have the larger, you know, 3 3/4 inch one, and I also have the Darth Vader one as well. I mean, you know, the model kit, it's like the kind of thing that someone, my parents would have given me for my birthday when I was like 10, you know, we were on my grandparents' house on vacation or something. I mean, the paint apps look okay. I mean, I probably would have put it together like a million times and had a lot of fun with it back then, and it probably would have been one of those things that I ended up liking, you know. Alright, so I have all the pieces out of the box here, and I have to say I'm actually pretty impressed with the amount of detail this thing has. I mean, some very cool paint apps on here that show sort of the weathering of the parts and laser burns or whatever, and there's actually quite a bit more detail in the cockpit on this model kit version than there is here. I mean, there's just not a lot of paint treatment in here, but you can see like little lights and stuff on there. It's actually looking pretty cool, and now that I have it out and it's laid out in front of me, and like I said, all the tools are here that you need to put it together. There's even a pin here that you have to put in for the wing. It does remind me of a project that one year, there's a Fisher-Price Adventure People airplane called Turbo Hawk, and I did get that one year. And I just remember putting it together, taking it apart, putting it together, taking it apart. I mean, you know, a lot of the fun with that item was the, you know, assembling it yourself. It was pretty simple. It just had 5 screws, and you put the wheels in, and you put the engines in, and all that stuff. And that's essentially what we're doing here. It's really not that different. I'm really looking forward to putting this together now, and it doesn't look like it's going to take long because there are 5 steps. So this won't take long at all. Okay, so it really didn't take that long to put it together. There weren't really that many pieces. Couple of guns, couple of engines, the R2 unit, the cockpit piece that sits inside the shell here, the 2 wings, and these 2 smaller guns. There were 10 total screws, the tiniest screws I've ever seen in my life. Dropped them on the carpet a couple of times, managed to find them lucky enough, had a backup magnet just in case to pull one out if I needed to. There was obviously the tiny little screwdriver came with it. Not the sturdiest screwdriver ever, but it was free, so I can't complain too much. Hardest thing about it was being able to tell when the screws were actually screwed in versus if I had actually stripped the screw itself. It didn't fit together perfectly, but you know what? You just don't see too much stuff in die-cast anymore, so it is pretty darn cool that this is die-cast. The pins in the wings are a little weak, so when they're closed, these don't always want to stay up. This guy droops, so that's a little disappointing. Plus, they're a little tough to get back open because of this wing design. But and I think calling it a model kit is certainly being generous. And may actually be offensive to model kits. But it's neat, you know, in terms of scale, it's bigger than this little tiny one, and it's smaller than the 3 3/4 inch one. Wow, that one looks giant in this frame here. You know, paint apps, I think are really, really nice. They're not quite as detailed as they are on the 3 3/4 inch one. But in terms of a nicely sized little die-cast Jedi Starfighter, I think it's pretty darn cool, and I'm actually pretty glad now that I got it. Oh, and most importantly, mention cockpit opens. Now, I've probably got a scale figure that'll fit in there. Maybe not Star Wars, but somebody. Matt Tracker, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please make sure you leave a comment in the comments below. Let me know if you've ever put together a model kit like this, or if you have anything die-cast, really. Not this scale, but like this scale. This is different. This is a different kind of thing for die-cast at this level. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm out of here. Later.